Good morning. My name is Huntyr Schwegman, and welcome to the continued Spotlight on Education presented by Neosho County Community College, where we highlight various programs and events happening each week at NCCC. And in today's episode, we will be highlighting the honors program at Neosho County Community College. I'm sitting here with Professor of History and the Director of the honors program, Mindy Herron. Mindy, how are you doing today?
Great. It's a beautiful fall day on our campus.
It most certainly is. Before we get started, just give us a little bit of background about who you are, how long you've been here at the college, what made you decide that you wanted to get into the world of education.
Oh, wow. Well, this is my 18th year here at Neosho County Community College. I'm an alumni. I came here many years ago and got my associate's degree. And what actually got me into history was the history professor at the time, Sarah Harris, encouraged me. And so I finished my degree here and I got my secondary education degree at Pitt State. And then I worked at Iola High School for 4 or 5 years while I was finishing my master's degree in American history. And then this position came open and I moved over to higher ed, and I've been here ever since, and I love it.
Well, we're more than grateful to have you here at NCCC. Been a mainstay at the college. A lot of people know you. So we'll just dive right into this and get to talking about the honors program. So just go ahead and give us a quick overview of the honors program and what kind of sets the students who participate in this program apart from other students at the college.
Okay, well, our honors program is set up in two different areas. One, you can do it through a scholarship. Students can get a scholarship to do the honors program, which has certain criteria. And two, the students can do the honors program because they're interested in being a more well-rounded student. They're looking to do different types of research or projects that are interesting in their field of study.
For students who are interested in taking part in the program and like you said, becoming a more well-rounded student and candidate, can you explain the criteria that is used to admit these students, or what kind of application process there is for interested students?
So if students want to come in and receive a scholarship for this, it's a little bit different of a process. They go online on our financial aid website and click the box that says honors, and then I get a hold of them and I ask them to write an essay for me because I want to make sure that they have the abilities needed to fulfill this school. And then we also look at their transcript, make sure that they have at least a 3.5 GPA, kind of go from there. Sometimes they have a meeting with me and we decide if that's the best fit for them, that scholarship fit. Other students, however, don't receive scholarships. They want to do it because they want to excel. They want more academic acknowledgments. If you look at the students in my program, most of them are non-scholarship. They're doing it because they really are excited about the field they're going into, and they want to do more research or more projects, and they want to just have extra notations on their transcripts and for their scholarship applications in the future and for their job applications in the future.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the key benefits of enrolling in the honors program, both academically and personally for these students.
Students have to complete 4 classes for honors, 4 3-credit hour classes. And so basically they have me as their one-on-one advisor, and we sit down, and it's a process because we look at what they're going into, what their field of study is, if it's education or if it's engineering or if it's biology. And we try to look at their schedule and see what classes fit with that the best. And then I set them up with different instructors, and we meet and greet and talk about different projects they could do. Because as you know, say biology is a very broad field. You know, I've had students that are interested in the medical field versus students that are going into like biology and wildlife. So we try to hone in that project on what they're most interested in. They have to do, like I said, 4 separate projects while they're here, whether it's they're here for 3 semesters or 2 semesters or 4 semesters. And after they complete the class and the project to the satisfaction of the director and the instructor, then it is notated on their transcript that the class that they took for honors. And then if they do complete all 4, they have a specific designation at graduation where they're an honor scholar. And that is also designated on their transcript. And as we all know, our transcripts follow us forever. So they will always have that on there. And I think it's a real step up for future employment and future, maybe it's admittance into different colleges or into different programs at different colleges. It gives them that leg up. It shows, whether it's employers or advisors, that it shows that the student is willing to go the extra mile. They're willing to do more work. They're going to go above and beyond within their field. And it shows that their dedication. And I think that anymore, our students have been led to believe that a 4.0 is all you need. And while yes, those, the GPA is crucial, but anymore it's, and what else did you do? So you were a student athlete, and you were a member of clubs and organizations, and you were part of the theater department or the music department, and you graduated with honors. Wow. It sets the students aside. It gives them a second look where possibly a good GPA might not have gotten them that second look.
You mentioned that one of the requirements in the program is for students to take 4 of these honors classes. How do these courses differ from regular courses in terms of curriculum or expectations? Is it just a designation on top of the course? Is it a completely separate course than what the other students are taking? Just kind of explain that to us.
When you look at honors programs in large 4-year universities, it can be a whole different college. But at Neosho County, what works best for us, and so the students have the freedom to take the classes they're most interested in or that will help them the most in their degree path, is they take your regular prerequisite course, whether it's Comp 1 or U.S. History or Music Appreciation, and then we do a side project. So it can be in the form of a paper, it can be research data, it can be some kind of experiment in a science class. We really try to be very open-minded in the different kind of projects the kids want to do. We have service learning examples. I've had education majors that will spend an extra 40 hours in our local schools and they'll do a reading project within the library or different items like that. It's really kind of open-ended, and I love to brainstorm with the students and come up with the most interesting, different type of project possible. Whether it's the type of research they're doing or the type of paper they're doing, we want it to be specific, we want it to be different, we want it to be a higher level of blooms. So it's not just let's say in Comp 1, let's say you have to write a research paper and it's 10 pages. The project wouldn't be just to add pages. It's to do something completely different, something above and beyond what any of the other students would be required to do for that class.
For these students, when they're taking these courses and like you said, kind of completing these extra projects on top of the coursework that's already laid out for them, what kind of support do they have from academic advisors or anything else like that is specific to the honors program?
Gotcha. Yeah, well, of course they have the one-on-one attention from the instructor, because we actually sign a contract. So the contract is between the student, the instructor, and me saying, we're in this together, this is what we're going to do. And so the instructor sets up generally a schedule where they meet outside of class time, whether it's once a week or every other week. I send out emails normally 2 or 3 times a month to all of our kids giving encouragement, and don't forget the due dates, and don't forget to check in with me. We offer, of course, printing services. If they need supplies for, let's say, a science experiment, we offer that. We don't want a student to not be able to complete an honors project due to financial reasons. We want to be able to support all of their projects within, reasonable expectation. They get encouragement if they get behind. They get to know each other through this and through their presentations. So it's nice. They have kind of a little community of honor students where they can bounce ideas off each other and give each other support, especially when they're presenting.
Can you tell us about any students that have had projects that have kind of dabbled in multiple fields at once or multiple subjects at once?
Generally, we try to go with their degree path. So if they're let's say they're an education major, we try to pick the classes like Introduction to Teaching or Children's Literature or Music in the Elementary Classroom. If they're a psychology major, of course, we try to look at more of those classes and what they're interested in. And then we have some students that are interested in everything. And so they have the freedom, as long as I agree with it, with the expectations of rigor, to delve into topics that they wouldn't have time normally to look into. Whether it's a political topic or it's a psychological topic or a educational topic. If they're interested and passionate about it, I want to help them create a project around that so they can learn about it. We also have students that have done some really interesting thematic projects. We currently have a student who's going in the biomedical field, and she is wanting to go specifically into prosthetic research. And so in a U.S. history class, she looked at modern warfare and how the prosthetics have changed as the weapons in the 20th century changed. And it was super interesting. And then she's doing a psychology class, and she's looking at the psychological effects of double amputees. So, that's her passion. So we're doing everything we can within our courses that she's taking to help her get that extra research and that, that extra well-roundedness about one specific topic. So, it's very open. This program needs to be open. It needs to give students the flexibility to research and to think about things at a different level and to put the time into it, to learn for the sake of learning. Like I said, most of my kids aren't on the scholarship. They're learning for the sake of learning, and that's my favorite aspect. Now, the scholarship kids, I love giving them money to do this as well, but I love the fact that they have that intrigue and that curiosity about different academic subjects. And so this gives them an opportunity for that outlet.
When students are working on these projects, what kind of resources or technology do they have access to through the honors program?
Well, that's a really broad question because the projects are broad. It can be access to different abilities to do service learning, which a lot of students are very interested in. So working with the schools or other businesses to give the students that opportunity. So we have that resource. Science labs, which I'm not science, so whatever they need to finish those kinds of projects, we try to give those resources. Of course, we have our databases and our research facilities here to help them with that. They're in with the best instructors to help them as a resource. We also, a few years ago, thanks to Dr. Rob, came across a really cool template to be able to display their presentation, the highlights of their presentation and their research topics. And so we provide the printing of those big posters, and the students get to keep those. And I encourage them, keep this, and when you go in for an interview for a job or an interview for a scholarship, show them what you've done, because there's your hard copy. And it looks very professional, and I just love those. I'm really glad we've been able to do that. But always looking at different ways to collect data. And
Mindy, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. It was really enlightening to learn a little bit more about the honors program and hear about some of the passions that you and your students have for their topics of study.
Oh, thank you for having me. I encourage any new student or current student, if you're interested in this program, we have a page on the website. You're more than welcome to get a hold of me. Come by my office, shoot me an email, and I'd love to talk to you about it. The more the merrier.
And that concludes the Continued Spotlight on Education presented by Neosho County Community College. My name is Huntyr Schwegman, and I'd like to thank you all for listening today. Tune in next week as we highlight more programs and events happening at NCCC. Go Show!